Hello, Ramley and other family. Welcome to the show. I'm Payo Time, and whether you're watching live with me here right now or on the replay, please hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't. If you love talking football, I want to talk with you. I'm so glad that you have joined me today, either live or whatever day you're watching this. There's so much to talk about, and so I'm stoked for today's show. Let's get a couple of shout outs coming in early. Big Play Slay, Eagles fan in the house. So glad you're here. Hello, how are you? I always mess up your name, but I'm gonna try. It's Lesia, I think. Please correct me. How are you? Hope you're doing well. So glad that you are joining the show with us today. North Dallas 40, always a pleasure to have you in the stream and in the chat. He's saying Cowboys fans are the most delusional people on it. We will talk about it. Yes, so North Dallas 40 is referring to, if you didn't know, the LA Rams are coming off of a joint practice with the Dallas Cowboys. And a quick note, Letitia, thank you for the pronunciation. I really appreciate that. Letitia, thank you. So there was a practice yesterday. I could not watch it live. Otherwise, I totally would have done a watch party. I was at a wedding yesterday. So shout out Greg and Lauren. Had a blast at your wedding yesterday. Congrats on celebrating your marriage. But I was able to rewatch the entire 2-hour thing over on the Cowboys YouTube channel this morning. Really interesting. Obviously, it was a very Cowboys-centric broadcast group, and it was really funny. They messed up a lot of the Rams players' names. I think I caught them messing up definitely Bryce Perkins and Duck Hodges. They messed up on, I believe, Daryl Henderson's name a few times. But anyway, they were, Cowboys commentators, and so that was to be expected. They weren't there for the Rams. But I do ask, what do you guys think? Did you watch these joint practices? Would you like to see more of them? I personally really enjoyed it. I would critique a little bit that, and this is probably a very small critique, and it's just sort of nature of what you have access to. But I would have liked to see some higher cameras. I felt some of the camera angles were awkward, and you didn't really get the best, view of what was going on. But then again, they're practicing in a facility. There's fans there, but it's not like the stadium or a field that was built to have that kind of professional broadcast. So the camera crew did a great job. I'm not criticizing their talent at all, but I would, if they're going to do stuff like this again, which I would love to see every NFL team do, look at it like, what the Green Bay Packers were doing. They had a fantastic broadcast of their practices. And I would love to see the NFL adopt this, but definitely the LA Rams, they got to get on this. I would love to see more of these joint practices, and also just filming of practices so that we can watch and be part of that experience. And I really enjoyed it. I think that there was obviously some scuffles, that some tensions here and there, but that happens. There were no referees, so it's all coaches, right? And so there's we get to see a little more grit, a little gritty. But yeah, hello, Rambling Man. So glad you're here. He's saying, "Hey, Peo, love your profile pic. That's awesome." And then Jarrett's also in the house. So glad you're here, Jarrett. Thank you. Welcome into the stream. And Letitia is saying, so true. Absolutely. So yeah, let me know. If you guys enjoyed the practice. I also want to talk about Isaac Bruce later on, but in regards to the practice, I have a couple of articles that we're gonna just kind of look over, and then we'll get to Isaac Bruce. So let's first start with where'd you go? Yes. Okay. I'm going to do the old sharing of the screen. And all right. So, Sean, this one's by the Rams Wire. One of my favorite authors, Rams beat writers, Cameron De Silva, saying Sean McVay not bothered by the scuffles during the Rams and Cowboys practice. As expected, tempers boiled over a couple times on Saturday during the Rams joint practice with the Cowboys. Aaron Donald and Connor Williams got into it on the field, which led to a huge skirmish at one point. And I'm just going to say this. Anytime you have star players that get into a scuffle, it's going to get publicized, right? And the reality is, if these were no-name players that no one didn't talk about, it wouldn't have, it wouldn't have mattered. I do think that because Aaron Donald was involved, that's why people figure out. But these scuffles in practice happen a lot, not just in football, in all sports, especially when tensions are high, emotions are high. These guys have a heavy, heavy motor, and they all just want to do their best to compete. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing the media outlash, because guaranteed tomorrow all those shows like First Take and Undisputed and Pat McAfee, they're going to be talking about Aaron Donald's fight at the Cowboys practice or whatever, just to get the clicks. But the reality is, it happens more than you think, and it's not that big of a deal. No one got hurt, so that's what's important. And I still love Aaron Donald. I think he's a fantastic player, and I don't think that by any means, if anything, the Cowboys should be concerned about that O-line, because Aaron Donald, forget about the fight. I saw so many highlights in that practice of Aaron Donald tearing up that line. So Cowboys fans, you better watch out, because then again, there's no other team that has Aaron Donald on it. Couple of comments here. North Dallas 40 said Cowboys feed was horrid. Everything Cowboys do us is perfect. I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that, North Dallas 40, but I think, you corrected yourself here. He said Cowboys live feed was horrid. Everything they do is perfect. It was fun to see. It was cool, but yeah, just it could have been shot better from a camera perspective for sure. Rams too cheap to have live video. I don't know if they're too cheap. I don't know if the Rams, it's something that they prioritize. I wish they would. And so I hope this comes, next off season. I would love, for this to be more of a thing, but we have seen glimpse, but I feel like most of the good footage we've seen, it's been because fans have filmed it with like their phone and it's got on the internet. So yeah, the Rams, I would appreciate if they would step that up. You're right, North Dallas 40. Jimmy Johnson was my favorite Hall of Fame speech. Yeah, I was able to listen to Jimmy and Isaac Bruce's speech. I haven't listened to all yet, but definitely going to. But yeah, Jimmy Johnson and Isaac Bruce were awesome. They're great. NY Yuan, thank you so much for tuning into the stream today. So glad you're here. He is saying also seeing Aaron Donald got torn up too. Positive on our end. Yep. Connor Williams had a great day. Connor Williams is a punk. Yeah. Again, the scuffles, they happen. They get probably over publicized. But the reality is these scuffles happen a lot. It's just getting a lot of media hype because Aaron Donald was involved and Connor Williams involved, and they're players that people actually know about. But these scuffles happen a lot. It's, I don't think there's a team in the NFL that doesn't have these kind of scuffles that happen, right? The next thing I want to talk about here in regards to the practice is we're going to look at a couple of the Rams and Cowboys photos on the day. So I am going to do the old share my screen one here. And Jared, I will get to your question there. I do see it there. So we got there was some really cool Matt Stafford highlights. It was cool that Matt Stafford played in it. But his one, I think he had like a 60-yard bomb to Deshaun Jackson, which is pretty cool. You can go and watch that on like YouTube or Instagram or Twitter. It was lighting it up yesterday. But it's sometimes cool just looking through these pictures, seeing, and obviously it was a Cowboys focused practice. The Cowboys maybe do media a little bit better than the Rams right now, for a lot of reasons. And I'm sure North Dallas 40 agrees with that comment. Yeah, I really appreciated this joint practice though. I'm not saying this. I heard some people saying like we need more of this, less preseason. Well, it's like I don't see why you can't have both, as long as it's covered well. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this for this part. I wouldn't want to watch this every single day. And the reality is, like, it's really annoying when they like make a catch and like they hug and then nothing happens. Like, no one wants to watch that. But yeah, it's cool like seeing all these picks, and thank you for the Rams Wire for posting all these, because it's cool to see your team in off-season mode, training it up, trying to perfect it, get ready to go. But yeah, I'm optimistic that this practice provided some insight and some things that the Rams need to work on as they get ready for this 2021 campaign. A couple of shout outs coming in. Jared is asking, anything interesting so far besides Rams training camp? Yeah, lots with the Hall of Fame, speech, especially Isaac Bruce going on. We are kind of at that point in the off season where stuff, there's stuff that's about to happen. I know there's a lot of Rodgers hype still because the Packers have made him look really good with, if you want to see practice filmed right, go to the Packers in Lambeau practice on their channel, on the YouTube channel for the Packers. It was so cool. Coach Dante, welcome in. So glad you're here. Real game, he said. Yeah, there was a couple of those yesterday where the lineman got through and there was no sack. But yeah, there would have been a lot of people getting sacked yesterday. Gilbert and Stafford and everyone involved. Rams House TV, awesome. So glad that you guys are tuning in. They're saying, yo, Pale, what's up? What's good, Ramley? Horns up. Cowboys fans are deluded. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. I do want to talk about that. Here in California, facts. Okay, and North Dallas 40s. When is the Rams Raiders practice? I don't know the exact date. Let's look it up. Rams Raiders practice. That's coming up according to Google. It looks okay. Oh, that's from a couple of years ago. That's what I was saying. Google, come on. It doesn't give a date here. Oh, it just says the Raiders open. Yeah, so I don't see anything North Dallas 40 from my very limited Google search. So we'll have to look into that. We'll keep an eye on that because that would be really cool. And if the Raiders show us up, we gotta start tweeting out to the Rams organization to, film these practices better. Let's see what we got going on here. Brandon on the go. Thank you so much for tuning in to the stream. He said, in your infinite knowledge, what year do you think the Rams were at their best? Well, like the year they won the Super Bowl, 99 is a good year, but I think, their 0-1 season, where they should have won the Super Bowl, they were a really good team that year. Also, it's so tough. The NFL has different eras, right? Like some of the Rams teams, and with the fearsome foursome or crazy legs, any of those teams. Eric Dickerson when the Rams were with him, and they had like a pretty stout defense. Jack Youngblood, he could light it up some days. So yeah, I don't know. It's tough to say like their best because the NFL is so different now than it was back then. When like I don't know if the fearsome foursome could last today as long as they did, in the sense of just it's a lot less violent. Like, they don't. There's a certain way to tackle now that players are coached up that you have to do that, and the fearsome foursome were just so brutish that they would have to change their game a lot. So I don't know. That's very subjective, but I'm a big fan of the Rams right now, and I think they have potential to be a really good Rams team this year for sure. Great question though. Thank you, Brandon. Everybody always want to call Cowboys fans delusional, but never have any proof of why. And don't bring up winning the Super Bowl because no fans say that. You know what? So on the delusional fan Cowboy thing, I think what a lot of Ram fans feel is that some Cowboys fans are making a big deal about the scuffles. They're making a big deal about how they handled the Rams in that practice. However, I'm of the sense that practice was a practice. I don't know how scripted it was. There was definitely some of it that was scripted, but at the same time, like, they're not tackling the way that they are. There was a ton of players that were not going full throttle, which is the right thing to do. It essentially gives you another team, another offense, another defense to go against, to give your team experience to prepare them for the NFL season. And you're not just always going against your own team in-house, right? It's one of those things, as Sean McVay said in his press conference, they'll look at the film. Oh, sorry, I lost you there, folks, for one moment. They'll go over the film and they'll, make adjustments as needed. I don't think that, CeeDee Lamb, totally owned Jalen Ramsey, and I don't think that. One sec. Sorry, folks, we're having some minor technical difficulties here. Anyway, I don't think that Ramsey got owned by CeeDee Lamb. I don't think that Donald, got owned in a fight or anything like that. Like, it's just scuffles that happen, and it's only getting media attention because they're big name players that are involved, right? And the media loves to feed those narratives. But yeah, I'm excited for the season. I think that I'm thankful for the Cowboys, that we got to do a joint practice and for their coverage of it. That was pretty cool. I would have loved to see the Rams do more of this in the future, but I would love to see like a Ram-centric broadcast. If I wasn't at a wedding yesterday, I definitely would have done a watch party of this for sure. But no, it was a lot of fun. Ramelia Sports Report. He's saying, "Hey, my Ram brother. Hello. How are you, my friend? I am so glad you are here. Thanks for tuning in. Let's make this clear. CD did not shake Ramsey. Ramsey was playing cover. Yeah. Like, again, it's just, yeah. It's practice. It's not. Yeah. Like, if it was an actual game and something like that happened, okay, like, let's talk about it. But no, for something like this, it's getting way too much media attention than it deserves. Absolutely. North Dallas 47, delusional Cowboys fans think Super Bowl year. Yeah. So again, I think there are some Cowboys fans that maybe overhype the Cowboys, but I'll be honest, I'm guilty of overhyping the Rams at times. And it's because you love your team. Now, Cowboys fans, there's obviously more of them. So that's why I think they get this kind of rap that goes with them. I definitely have met some Cowboys fans in my life where, they maybe have a little too much hype and they say like, oh, the Cowboys are definitely like as good as the Chiefs. Well, okay, let's pull the brakes here. Let's see. My honest thoughts on the Cowboys. They were a severely injured team last year, and they, I think they had the potential to be one of the highest scoring offenses until Dak went down. But I think they have a great receiving core. They have an aged offensive line. I don't know. I didn't follow their offseason that much, so I can't speak to what they did to replace their offensive line. But I think that they won't have the run game that they've had in the past with Zeke and Pollard. But I think the Cowboys' biggest concerns is that defense. And I believe they got a new Dan Quinn from the Falcons is their new defensive coordinator. And they did say in the broadcast for the practice yesterday that the Cowboys defense looks a lot more organized this year in the offseason. So if that's, good for the Cowboys if they can get that going on. At the end of the day, I just believe fans are excited for the season, to be honest. Some people may just overhype the situations to troll, get ready for it. Yeah, we just got to let it all out. Yeah, let it all out. All in good fun. Yeah, as long as it's all in good fun, no one loses sleep over it. That's what's important. Absolutely. Last Sane Prince, welcome to the stream. So glad you're here. Those practices are good for pre-snap practice. Yeah. That, you know what? Well said. Oh, you know what? Well, you know what? That's good. That is what I'm calling a confetti comment right there. Yes. Last Sane Prince, great comment. Those practices are good for pre-snap. Yeah, it's definitely way more about pre-snap than what happens post-snap in those, because any given day you have players taking plays off. You have scripted plays that are supposed to go certain ways, right? Like it's a practice. Yeah. It was a good route, but nothing more. As a Cowboys fan, I get excited to see that CD is getting better with the footwork, and he didn't. Yeah. Hey, I and I appreciate you coming on in, NY Yuan, and being a Cowboys fan, and just having that that perspective that a lot of us wouldn't share. And I think that CD Lamb had a rookie season that showed some promise, things like that. I can't recall if he was battling injury, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I do think he's someone with potential to be a really good receiver. And he probably is a little jealous of guys like Justin Jefferson, who came into the league and just lit it up. And people are already talking about Justin Jefferson as like a top 5 receiver in the NFL. So I'm sure CD would love to get in on those conversations. So yeah, I have no doubt CD Lamb will be a good receiver for the Cowboys this next year. Yep. Shot by Nolan. So glad you're here, man. Welcome to the stream. He's saying people are reaching for anything to say about Rams. Yeah, again, big name, big story. Media needs clicks. Yeah. That's all they need. That's all I need. I gotta take a quick swig of water. Oh, you guys are awesome. Thank you everyone for commenting, tuning on in. Oh, you guys are awesome. Remelia Sports Report is saying the Cowboys have no business in Cali practice. Their fans are all giddy because of a situational workout, not even a real scrimmage. I understand McVay is 1-3 versus the Cowboys, so they're still bitter. All good points, Remelia Sports Report. All good points. Cover 3 is a zone, but no one crossed at the top of the zone, so it turns into man, and he got it happened. You know what? Well, again, I stand by it. It's a practice. I still say Jalen Ramsey's the best corner in football right now. And whether if he did get beat or not, I guess that's a matter of opinion. But it definitely doesn't concern me about that play in this practice. That doesn't concern me. The world is a better place from the North Dallas party. Oh man. Brandon on the go. Just learned the Rams used to be called the Cleveland Rams. Cool. Yes, the Rams were started in Cleveland. They went from Cleveland to LA, were there for many years, and then to St. Louis for many years, and then now they're back in LA. Yeah, very, very unique franchise that has hit the road a couple times, but hopefully they're in LA to stay for a long time. I think with that new stadium and a reignited fan base, they're going to be in LA for a long, long time. The fans are the reason why people hate the Cowboys. You know what? I didn't expect we'd talk about hating on the Cowboys so much, but I think that the Cowboys are a fan base that they have so many fans that came from those 90s Super Bowl runs, and on top of that, just a lot of people like the Cowboys because they were raised in Cowboys families, and so they're kind of brought up to like the Cowboys. And Like my dad's a Cowboys fan. I would definitely say my dad's a pretty realistic Cowboys fan, and he's been disappointed the past many years. um, but yeah, I really like Dak Prescott. I like Zeke. I like CeeDee Lamb. Cooper is great. I think Mike McCarthy as a head coach, questionable. I had high expectations for him. He said once he got fired from Green Bay, he said he took a year off to really learn the new NFL offenses and to prepare for a job like this. So I didn't see a lot of that. I saw a lot of let's be honest, the Cowboys were injured last year, but Mike McCarthy got outcoached a lot as well. And so yeah, I'm definitely not high on him as a coach, and I think he has a lot to prove this year. I don't know if he's on the hot seat just because of his relationship with Jerry Jones, but we'll see. Yeah, CD is nice. Dak got hurt, so he didn't get his full rookie season potential. Surely would have broke 1,000 with Dak. I think you mean CD. Yeah. Or no, you do mean because Dak got hurt, and yes, and so yeah. CD did. You're right. That's a good point. Yeah, because there was very questionable quarterback play for the Cowboys last year. Oh yeah, they were the QB carousel team last year. So yeah, definitely didn't get capable quarterback play in your rookie season. So yeah, CD is someone that I think every football fan should be excited about to see what happens next. LA Rams, what's up, everybody in Ramley? And everyone, if you're watching, LA Rams has a friendly reminder here. Thank you so much. Please hit that thumbs up. Helps me out, lets YouTube know that you're enjoying this. I hope to continue to grow this channel. I really appreciate everyone tuning on in to the stream. This is awesome. And Rams House, he's saying, what's good, Payo? Rams House, thank you so much. You were sending me some great, information yesterday about the practice, and I appreciate that. And I was able to catch a bunch of your live stream. I fell asleep to your live stream last night. You were my bedtime story, I guess. I came home from the wedding exhausted and turned on Rams House's live stream. But yeah, definitely thankful for all your great content. Coach Dante, Big 11. Jalen still had a great practice. Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. Honestly, I think the practice was a success. People are going to pick apart little scuffles and things like that here and there. But no, the practice was a success. This was a good thing for the Rams to do. It was a good thing for the Cowboys to do so that they're not always playing the same players. It helps them prepare for the season. Absolutely. I think the Cowboys will go 8-9. Okay, interesting. All right. Well, let me know, everyone else. What are your predictions for the Cowboys season? Established in 1937 in Cleveland and came to LA in 1946. Thank you. I didn't know the exact years. Thank you, Jared. I appreciate that. And that, Jared, is a confetti comment. Woo! Sorry, guys. I love doing the confetti thing. I'm sorry. I got to download that GIF, and yeah, I love the confetti. Love the confetti. Yeah, so some people don't like, and you know what? I think that's just the reality of the Cowboys being I think it was released by Forbes. They're the most valuable franchise in the NFL. Rams were ranked number 4, so shout out to the Rams because we went up one spot, I think, from last year. And yeah, when you're on top like that and you have a lot of fans, there a lot of people get that hate. But thank you, for taking it in good fun. And I by no means hate the Cowboys. They're just the Rams are my team, absolutely. But I am a fan of. I like Dak as a QB. I hope he does well this year. Who should win the NFC East? Ooh, this is a tough question, Jared. Okay, I think that the NFC East is going to be an interesting division once again. I'm not convinced that the Washington football team is going to win it again. I know their defense was great last year. and that can maybe lead them to it. There's still questions at their quarterback position with Kyle Allen, Ryan Fitzpatrick, and Taylor Heineke. I don't think it's going to be the Giants. I don't think it's going to be the Eagles. I think it comes down to between the Cowboys and the Washington football team. Cowboys, if healthy, they have the talent. Absolutely. But yeah, you're on a Rams. Thanks for noticing, Yuan. Yep. Payo, what? Hey, how's it going, Big Low Country? Glad you're here, man. I'm not sure what you're saying, what in the world, Bo, but glad you're here. And I'm going to take a brief water here. Washington football team will win the NFC East. Okay. And North Dallas 40 also thinks that, the Dallas defense is a question mark. It's a legit question mark. They got to step up. But again, maybe Dan Quinn will help fix that. But yeah, Cowboys got some work to do on that D. Last name, Prince. Sounds like McVay is very happy with Kenny Young so far. Were there any other stand-up players? Yeah. Okay, as a huge Kenny Young fan myself, so last name, Prince, thank you for this comment. As a huge fan of Kenny Young, I loved hearing Sean McVay in his press conference talk about Kenny Young and the linebacking crew, as a whole. He said he really likes what he's seeing there. He really likes the depth from that position. For standouts, I think that you can say that Van Jefferson, obviously the Cowboys broadcast got his name wrong, I think once or twice, but he seemed to be looking good. Deshaun Jackson was looking good with that 60-yard bomb. Stafford looks great. And I know we talk about Stafford a lot, and it's right. Like, we probably still don't talk about it enough. But yeah, Stafford's the real deal. He made some throws yesterday that Jared Goff just can't make. That's the reality of it. As for other standouts for that, it's tough because it was a Cowboys centric broadcast. So unless you really break it down, I don't know. It was just hard to see if there was any particular standouts to it, but definitely Kenny Young and the linebacking crew were looking good yesterday. They played fast. And then I'll give credit that O-line. It's tough in these because sacks would happen more. QBs wearing the red shirts don't get tackled. But I think the O-line, looked all right yesterday. And any plays that they did kind of misstep, I'd rather they misstep in a practice like this where there's way less chance of injury than a full pads practice or an actual game or in preseason, because then there's a higher risk of injury. So and they get the opportunity to correct that, break down the film, and stoked for the O-line this year. But great question, last name, Prince. Rams House TV. Yeah, okay. They said D-Jack retweeted our video from catching the long way. Yeah, so I saw that you posted that. I didn't see the retweet, but I'm definitely going to go look it up after my live stream. That's awesome. So happy for you, Jalen and Snoop. That's awesome. New York Giants or Washington might win. So I think Washington has a chance. The Giants, with the news of Kenny Golladay, I feel like Kenny Golladay is going to be battling an injury all season long. He's going to miss the first 2 or 3 weeks. I don't believe in Daniel Jones as a quarterback that can win. I think Joe Judge is a good defensive coach. I don't know if he's put the right coaching staff around him to get that offense going. I think it's going to be a streaky team. They'll have some games where they'll play well, and other games they won't show up. I see them as a middle-of-the-road team. But then again, that division last year struggled. So we'll see. We will see. But I personally think it's between the Cowboys and the Washington football team for next year, for sure. The team is cool. I like a few of their players, but the fans can get annoying. And now living in Dallas, you can get. You know what? I live in Canada, so I can't speak to living in Dallas about that. But wow, okay, Cowboys. All right, well, okay. um, well, I appreciate you being in here as a Cowboys fan. He's saying defense wins championships in January and February. Offense wins throughout the regular season. Cowboys going to win the division, and defense will be significantly better. Well, hey, if there's ever a time to be optimistic about your team, it's this year. And I would say you have the talent. I question that defense. Obviously, is a question mark. If they can't stop anybody, if they can't get the ball back, if they can't stay off the field, your offense might not get the chance to win you the game. If teams play ball hog against you, right? And the Washington football team is definitely set up to beat the Cowboys head to head. I think maybe slightly better. Your defense is questionable with the Cowboys, but biggest question mark for me with the Cowboys is that coaching staff. They got out coached last year a couple times, and I think most Cowboy fans would agree with me on that. Okay, what's good, Ramley? Okay, the practice was good for our young secondary, yeah, and live hitting versus another team is good. Especially nice to get out with no big injuries too. Yeah, that's well said, Ramelia Sport Report. Well said. Love seeing the Cowboys in the playoffs. We knocked them out. Ramelia Sports Report bringing the history lesson. Yep. Seems like when you beat us in the playoffs, y'all. Okay. Oh, well, hey, we've made the playoffs recently, so just saying. In the Super Bowl or next round. Rams house saying someone in the Cowboys channel said Woods used to wear 18. Oh, that was just a mistake. Yeah, no, it was number 17. Yeah. But there was a lot of word fumbles on the Rams players yesterday. It was really comical. I enjoyed it. Ronnie, welcome to the stream. So glad you're here. She's saying, hey, Payo, so glad I caught you live. Y'all make sure to like and subscribe as Payo is on his way to 1,000. Thank you, Ronnie. I would appreciate that, everyone, so much. Chris Garrett looking good as well. Yep. Love for Chris Garrett is real. Don't talk about him enough. Definitely need to. Last name Prince. It was good to see the coaches being lighthearted about the scuffles. Yeah. And the NFL won't throw out any suspensions on these kinds of practices. Yeah. And see, that's the thing, right? Like, if these ever did, like, because this was just broadcast on YouTube, but if this ever got, like, broadcasted on, like, television, and maybe it was broadcast to, like, a local, cable network to Dallas or something, I don't know. But, yeah, if they ever, anything like that ever happened, let's hope that doesn't happen. But I enjoyed this practice. I'd like to see more of this. I would like to see the Rams have a broadcast team and cover some of these. Like, yeah, I give me Maurice Jones-Drew and DeMarco Farr. I'd be a big fan of that. Well, we are going to transition to I want to talk about Isaac Bruce. So please, comment, in the live chat, or if you're watching this not live, please comment below, hit that like button. But so Isaac Bruce, I want to highlight a couple things. So if you've been watching my channel for a while, I'm a huge fan of the Greatest Show on Turf era of the Rams. Isaac Bruce was just a fantastic talent to watch. He was drafted by the LA Rams, I believe 1 or 2 years before they left to go to St. Louis. He was with the Rams in St. Louis for a while. But yeah, phenomenal player. I want to give a couple of just career shout outs to him, saying congratulations to making it to the Hall of Fame. Your speech last night was awesome. He was nicknamed the Reverend, very much for his faith and his involvement in the faith community, which I'll admit to being part of that faith community as well. And so I'm very thankful that Isaac Bruce was very well spoken about that last night, and giving glory to God and to the people around him and his community around him. And I've always appreciated Bruce humility to it. But Bruce he accumulated 15,200 receiving yards. He's ranked 5th overall. 5th overall. The only people that are ahead of Isaac Bruce are Jerry Rice, Larry Fitzgerald, Terrell Owens, and Randy Moss. He is ahead of guys like Tony Gonzalez, Tim Brown, Steve Smith, Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, Andre Johnson, Chris Carter, James Lofton, Anquan Bolden, and yeah, the list goes on and on. So Isaac Bruce, another one of the greatest show on turf, legends that's finally in the Hall of Fame. So glad that he's here. And yeah, I'm stoked to see, more of this greatest show on turf team, get the love that they deserve, because it was a fantastic offense. And Isaac Bruce, he had big plays in the Super Bowl that got us that win. So thank you, Isaac Bruce. I'm such a fan of you. So glad that you are representing the Rams well, and that you made it to the Hall of Fame. And so that's my little spiel, and we'll get back to the comments. All right. So a couple of comments coming on in here. I think Chris Garrett is going to be a steal for sure. Yeah. I want to see the Rams, them broadcast the Rams. Yeah, I really hope this becomes a regular practice of the Rams over YouTube. I would, totally love if we could get some, if it was at SoFi, that'd be cool. But even at a practice facility, that just, get those cameras up high so that we can get some good visuals there. Yeah, I very much agree. I enjoyed my time here, but I got to head out. It's all fun and games. It was fun to be back. Yeah, thanks for tuning on, and NYU1. I really appreciate it. Have a great day. Thanks. Isaac Bruce, well-deserved Hall of Famer. We have all of the greatest show on turf players, but we are still missing one more guy that's big game, Torrey Holt. But congratulations, Isaac Bruce. Yes, and Holt will get in eventually. Yeah. Peace out, Jarrett. Take it easy, man. Yeah, no, Torrey Holt will definitely get in there. I'm really excited about it. Yeah, you got to eat. Awesome. Thanks for tuning on in, LA Rams. Really appreciate it. But yeah, no, Isaac Bruce, if you actually look at his route running ability, one of the best route runners in NFL history, his hands, great hands. And he's a player that just was very quiet in demeanor. His 99 season, people forget about it, but at the time, it was the second greatest season by by an NFL wide receiver, for years to come. And yeah, before I get to I want to actually look up. So Isaac Bruce, I want his stats for 99. Yeah, okay. If we go to his stats here, and you know what? I'm going to do the old sharing of the screen. Let's see here. Okay. So going over to Isaac Bruce's stats. And so, yeah, 94 rookie year. He did okay. Then, boom, 95, 1,000 yards, 13 touchdowns. 96, over 1,300 yards, 7 touchdowns. 97, 800, so down year. I think he might have had injury these 2 years. Yeah, because he missed some time in these games. 99. Oh, it wasn't his 99 year that I'm talking about. Sorry. But anyway, over 1,100 yards, 12 touchdowns. Over 1,400 yards in the 2000 season, 9 touchdowns. Over 1,106. So just so much consistency. And then even later on in his career, 2004, over 1,200 yards and 6 touchdowns. And then he was with the Rams for a long time. So from draft 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, well over 10 years, Isaac Bruce with the Rams. Then we don't like to talk about how he finished his career with the Niners. And actually, I do remember that when Isaac Bruce, his final game, it was against the Rams, and their coach, Michael Singletary, at the time of the Niners, he very much was aware that this was Isaac Bruce's last game and that the Ram fans loved him. And so I remember Mike Singletary highlighted him a lot because it was last game of the season. I think the Niners and the Rams were both out of the playoff race. But yeah, I'm thankful for Isaac Bruce. He was one of my favorite players in NFL history. Rebellious Sports Report. Congrats to Isaac Bruce. Torrey Hall is next, and may LA Rams legend Henry Ellard be in soon. Yes, absolutely. That's long overdue. Led the NFL in 1988 and more receiving yards than whole. Yeah, no, that's absolutely well overdue. Totally. Oh, thanks, LA Rams. Glad you're tuned in still. Shot by Nolan. It was good seeing Bruce celebrating with the squad. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, no, you can't, there's that picture. I don't have it here with all the greatest show on turf, legends that were there. And just, yeah, it was phenomenal. Big fan of what was going on. But yeah. Well, anyway, guys, I think that is going to do it for today's live stream. Thank you so much for tuning in. This was a blast. I hope you enjoyed my, I'm trying to add a few things like the confetti and doing the tradition. Oops, sorry, my hand slipped there for a bit. But yeah, I'm trying to add in fun little things like that as we get ready for the season. I do hope during the season to do some watch parties during games, most of the games, and then I definitely will keep getting some videos and live streaming out as the season continues. So if you're watching this, you want to journey with me, Payo Time, throughout the season. I mainly cover the Rams, but I love talking football about any team, anytime, anywhere, and so yeah, stoked for the season. We are so close to September 12th, which is the Rams opener game against the Bears. Definitely we'll do a watch party for that. Anyway, you guys are all awesome. I'm Payo Time, and I'm peacing out. Please like, comment, and subscribe. All that jazz.